Good morning.
Good morning.
How's your conscious mind doing today? Tuned in? You know, it takes some doing to even realize you have a conscious mind. And that's because we have spent so much of our lives living unconsciously, believing that we were conscious. It's only as you actually start practicing being present that it begins to dawn on you that you have something with which to be present. You actually have a faculty about you. There's a lot of identification with mind, as if we are mind, but what if we have a mind? You know how it is to lose your mind?
Yeah.
It's a search to find it again. But when you do, you engage in a process of many different discoveries. One of the discoveries is that your conscious mind really is a channel through which your awareness focuses. That then allows you to bring some things together that up to now you didn't really have in a form or an order that served you, such as your purpose in life. I've heard so many people, including myself, say, what is my purpose in life? Well, if you're not conscious, your purpose in life is not going to be very clear to you at all. But as you begin to open yourself up, the discovery starts taking place that you actually are the creator of your own choices. And that as you do this, you are generating energies that up to now you weren't even consciously aware of. But as you stay present and you allow your awareness to be with that, discoveries again are made that help you to see what I generate, I'm actually filling my life with right now. These are the filters through which I'm experiencing everything. If I really get clear, then these filters are going to be more and more transparent. That allows me then to reach through and see the things that I want to bring into my life that reveal to me my purpose. It also gives you the ability to strategize your life. Instead of just aimlessly going along, this purpose then helps you to get things in a different order of receptivity. Not necessarily trying to nail it down and have it be so in place that it's immovable, but rather that you start moving in a different way to where you're able to negotiate complex social relationships in your environment. You're able to do so with much more finesse. And perhaps, even with this, as you do it more and more, greater ease. Then, of course, one of the big things that we come up against in life is fear. We say that fear is something that we just experience, we can't help ourselves with. But as you are practicing being conscious, it begins to dawn upon you that fear is a response that you often make from an unconscious level that is so connected to things of the past that it isn't even remotely similar to what's going on. I'm not trying to snow you with this, because the fact is, it takes being present consciously to discover that you can manage your fear, but you have to first recognize where it originates. It also is something that helps you make really fine decisions. So many times I've had people come to me in counseling and say, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. And this is all about choice making. This is all about getting to a place of deciding what you want to do. Well, the more conscious you can become, the better influence you're going to have on that decision-making possibility. And even if you don't make the choice that renders you with a feeling of absolute bliss, being conscious helps you to let that other part of you kick in, and that's the one that finds it funny, that finds humor in situations. Instead of taking yourself so god awful serious, you open up and you find it's laughable. It's okay. All right, so I didn't get it right this time? Okay, so I showed a part of my anatomy that I wish I hadn't. You get to that place of being able to embrace yourself and say, hey, humor is helping me, and thank goodness I found it. If I hadn't been conscious, I would not have. So you move along and you begin to, again, build a solid foundation of workable awareness. This workable awareness then gives you the realization that consciously there is that part of you who is for you, and who is for you primarily. Instead of operating from the premise of I'm always against myself, or I don't have any sense of stability because my sense of self is so shaky, it begins to be definitely moved around and reordered to where the result is you have a greater sense of self. You have more self-assurance. You're able to actually recognize it is because I do believe in me that my life is moving as it is. What about when you know it's over? What about when it's time to move on? If you go to the old paradigm, and that is to look at it from a historical frame of reference, you're probably going to repeat this over and over again. Or you're going to feel that the change is just too threatening for you, and so you tend to stay in place. And what happens then? It keeps repeating itself. And the reason is, there's that part of you that's trying to get your attention to look and see, hey, now is the time to make a change. Maybe that change means letting something go so you can move on. Well, that part of you happens to be the conscious awareness that you are. It's so nice when you begin to put all these things together and come to a realization, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about who I really am. I don't have to go to a guru to figure this out. I don't have to spend $5,000 on a course to have somebody tell me something that is inherent in me already. Now, if you want to spend $5,000, fine. To find that you come to the place of saying, wow, this is really true about me. Or to find what you did is you created a little space between you and $5,000. Of course, we don't want to go there, right? Okay, so what we're doing is we're really touching upon another area that unconsciously you don't want to go to at all, and that is getting to a place of experiencing your own vulnerability. Now see, being able to put yourself in a place of accepting your own vulnerability is a conscious move. And when you make it, you then find yourself being open to expression that you never would have considered before. I'm talking about creativity. I'm talking about inspired living. To where you actually reach that place of consciously taking these things, putting them together in a different order, to where they then come forward in means of expression that reveal your creative nature that was hidden inside and only required of you to be conscious about it. Sometimes it takes practice. Like what we just witnessed here today with Clarissa, with Marco. We got to see another aspect of expression. We got to actually open ourselves up and experience someone else's working with it and working with it and working with it to where the mechanics are mastered that then allow the creativity more room to actually come out. So what is this about? It's about taking risks. It's about actually trusting yourself enough to take a chance. Because the more conscious you can become, the more you realize the gifts you have available. The more you experiment with them, the more you're able to embrace uncertainty and dare to take a leap of faith and make glorious mistakes. You see, that's one of the things that the unconscious is really so regimented. It is so afraid of making mistakes that it will keep you locked into doing the same thing over and over again. But when you become conscious, you take the key and you insert it into the lock and you push the door open and make an amazing discovery. The damn thing was never locked anyhow. You were only operating under the assumption of being in a prison. You're the one who always has the right and the authority to set yourself free. So having brought these little pieces together, the last part, that one of the most important parts, is your conscious mind is actually able to find peace within you. How many times have you gone outside yourself looking for peace, looking for love, looking for happiness, looking for fulfillment? And the only place you're ever going to find it is in yourself. So the more conscious you can become in your awareness, the more you're going to be able to sift through the inner debris and find there residing a place that is a place of repose. It is your inner place where peace abounds, that gives you that feeling of power, that certainty of authority, to where you can then venture forth and live your life. All because of your amazing conscious mind. Thank you.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.